I have some really exciting news. There is a brand new division in bodybuilding shows for 2025 and the pro ranks for 2026. This is the NPC Fit Model Division. I'm Julie Lohre, IFBB Fitness Pro, and over the last 20 years, I've been working with women around the world, helping them get to their personal best, whether it's for a competition stage or for everyday life. This new division has me super excited because I think it's a great step back to what Bikini was when it first began. So over the years, the competition divisions have increased. When I first began competing 15, 20 years ago, you had three options. It was figure, fitness, or women's bodybuilding. That was it. Since then, we've added bikini, we've added wellness, and now this new division, which is the Fit Model Division. So this is going to be super exciting because what it's doing is giving another entry level. So this is going to be slightly smaller than bikini. It's more of that fitness athletic look. So women are not supposed to have super big shoulder caps and crazy overall leanness where you can see every striation. In fact, one of the rules is that they don't want you to have a glute hamstring tie-in to where you have that really super duper leanness between your glutes and your hamstrings. So this is an accessible category for really a lot of women. And what I love, not just that it's kind of a starter category, you're going to hear people talk about this being a beginner category or a starter. I really look at it in a different way. There's so many women that prefer that kind of look. And I feel like competition should be about what you want for your body. And if this division matches your ideal, then I would go for it. I think it's going to be a great option. So there are several things that are different between bikini and the new NPC Fit Model Division. The first thing is the suits. So your suit is going to be more basic. They're going with a single color suit that does not have rhinestones and doesn't have connectors. The back of the suit, which I think is a really good move, is more moderate coverage. So no thongs allowed, and none of some suit makers call it like a micro cut or like a Rio, like a really tiny cut. This has to be more moderate and can't be cheeky. So you can't have the ruching that pulls the suit in at your glutes. So also the suit bottoms are not supposed to sit super high. Like a figure suit will cut up on your waist and make it more of a V. This is supposed to be straight across without extra ties. So an off the rack, simple suit is going to be a great option for this category, and that's going to save you tons of money. So I love that. The next thing is the conditioning. So I talked a little about the conditioning, but what they're looking for here is a woman who looks like she's ready to hit the beach. So somebody that would be ready to be on a fitness, like a more mainstream fitness magazine, like my FITBODY magazine. So that is a toned look, still tight, still defined, but no striations, no overly muscled kind of looks. And then the posing. So posing is going to be similar to bikini, but we're going to take it a step back. So when bikini was first introduced, the posing was, I really liked it. It was a little more natural. And the front pose in particular was with one foot on each side and hips pressed in a different direction. So chest was lifted, you're slightly twisted, and your feet are apart. Since then, bikini's gone to more of a twist and one foot out. And so this is a difference. You're gonna have your feet apart and pushing to one side and chest is to the front. So nice and lifted with your chest up. So that's gonna be the front pose. The back pose maintains the same back pose as bikini currently does, with your feet just shoulder width apart, toes turned out slightly, a small arch in your back, and chest is lifted. The difference here is what they're looking for. So from the rear, they don't want to see a lot of lat development and they don't want to see big boulder shoulders. So you're not going to have more of that V-taper. You're just going to have a more of a relaxed, tight, and lean, but not overly defined upper body. Glutes. This is going to be a big difference, in my opinion, between what's rewarded in bikini and what's rewarded in the Fit Model Division. So in bikini right now, especially at the pro ranks, the glute development has gotten almost excessive. In past, that would have been more of a figure kind of glute development that's kind of worked its way up through the bikini division now. So you still need to have lean and tight glutes, and when you're walking, they shouldn't be shaking. There shouldn't be a lot of excess body fat there. But you don't have to have those big kind of boulder type glutes that are super lifted. Nice, lean, defined, attainable, right? This is something that most women want. A lot of women aren't trying to get their glutes huge. They just want them to be tight and defined. So that's going to be another part of the posing that's going to be showing in that back pose. Some shows, they will have you half turn to the rear, walk to the back, half turn back to the front, but not all of them. That's going to be at the discretion of the individual shows. Okay, so let me take you through the posing for this new Fit Model division. And like I mentioned, this is reminiscent of initial bikini posing with a few changes. So the front pose, that's going to be the most important thing, and it is different. So for your front pose, you can do this along with me. You're going to have one foot slightly in front of the other. Feet are just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and you're taking and pulling. I like to pull across your hips, turn that hip bone back just a bit, and shoulders to the front. So relaxed upper body, but lifted through your chest. Abs are nice and tight. You're not doing any extra squeezing or trying to flare your lats in this pose. So it's here, and then get used to doing it on the other side as well. So you plant your feet first, you twist your hips, and you lift your chest up. So that's your front pose. For the back pose, you're gonna take a step. So if I'm here, I'm gonna take foot together, step transition, and there's no transition pose for this fit model like there would be for bikini sometimes. So go straight from that front pose, take a step together to the back, and feet are just wider than shoulder width. Arms are relaxed down, upper body's relaxed. Back is just a little arch to lift up your glutes. And I like to take and twist your knees out just a touch. So that's going to bring a little bit of quad sweep shape. We're going for shape. We're not going for this like super crazy definition. So from that back pose, you'll transition back to the front. So step together to the front and back into a front pose here. So that's going to be your model walk, but also the mandatory poses. So you'll do two things. You'll come out alone on stage and you'll do that model walk. So into the front pose, half turn without a transition into the back, and then back around to the front, and then acknowledge the judges and walk into line. That should be about 10 seconds. We'll see how it changes over time because the posing always evolves in each division. And the length of time is really going to depend. If you're at a national show with this, they're going to be right on schedule where if you go longer than 10 seconds, they're going to be pushing the next person out. If it's a local show or a regional show, you might have a little more leeway. From there, you're going to do the lineup comparisons. So this is the time when all of the women are brought out together for the mandatory poses. So same front and back. So feet are shoulder width. Hips are slightly twisted to the side, one foot's just a little bit back, and shoulders are to the front. So that's going to be your front pose along with all the other women. Take that transition into your back pose. Now, there's a chance that you'll be walking to the back of the stage, and during that time, you want to keep your back slightly arched, abs tight, and allow your hips to sway a bit, just a little bit of personality in it. Don't do any leaning forward. You're not trying to be crazy sexy with this. It should look polished and poised and really attractive overall, like you're on the cover of a magazine. So that's the posing for this new division. And like I said, let's see how it changes as everything rolls out, but that's where we're starting. For the NPC for 2025, they are planning to have this division in most all shows. So I'm sure the national shows, the national qualifying shows will all have the new Fit Model division. For the professional ranks in the IFBB, that's not going to happen until 2026. So they're going to kind of fill the ranks with some new pros in 2025, and they'll be competing later on in the future. The other thing about this division is that you cannot cross over. So crossover is when you do two different divisions at shows. So currently, if you wanted to compete in both, say, women's physique and figure, you could. At this With this new division though, they are trying to keep the numbers down a bit and not just have all the women in the show doing both divisions. So you have to make a choice. If you're gonna come in to Fit Model, that's the only one you're doing. If you turn pro in Fit Model, my understanding as of recording date is that you won't be able to transition into any of the other pro ranks. So that's something to consider too. You can look at Fit Model as kind of a starter bikini if you want, but this can be your landing spot. If it's the kind of physique that you want for your body, awesome, then let's go for that. So the other thing I'm so excited about this division for is women over 40 or like me over 50. If you are a master's competitor, so the divisions are all going to be still split as with any other bodybuilding show. So you're still gonna go by height class and you're still gonna be broken down by age group. For women in their 40s and 50s who have always had this goal of competing but never had the time for it, now could really be your time to jump into a competition. It can get harder to build muscle the older you get. So in your 40s, in your 50s, you might not have the capacity to really build that excess muscle that would make you super competitive for figure, women's bodybuilding, physique, or even bikini at this point. You want more of that beach model kind of look, that beach body, that fit body look. And this is gonna be a division where you're really gonna be able to shine. So if you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will be answering all of these questions and I'm excited to see how this division comes and changes over time. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you need some help, I would love to do that. And I can help work with you online through my online contest prep program to help you get into this amazing fit model kind of conditioning. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below of any questions you have on this division.